Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams and we are back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we've got a little bit of everything in here, as we always do. I've got some transfer news for you, very much linked with France for both of them. I've got some injury news for you, and I've got some statistics just to spice it up a bit, because I know we mention players, and sometimes I mention players, and even I sometimes don't know who they are. And I normally say, I can't. And I thought, I'd do a little bit of research into these lads, although I do know the two today, and get some of their stats up. Otherwise, you're just hearing word of mouth and me doing the eye test on them. And as good as the eye test is to see if a player's good, you should also have statistics to back it up. There's a reason analysts are in football. But anyway, like I say, we start with our headline news, and our headline news is that Everton are still linked with Jonathan Ikone. He was first linked with the Blues last week, and the same rumours are doing the rounds. Milan Live claim that Everton are plotting to make a move for Ikone. West Ham and AC Milan have also been interested. I really like him, and I really want him, which means he'll probably go to AC Milan. He plays for Los Lille in the French league, who won the Ligue 1 last season, so he's a Ligue 1 winner. They were managed by Christophe Galtier, who was the French manager that we were linked with in the summer that I really wanted, and he's doing really well with Nice right now already, which normally he takes a season and then improves the squad, but he's just straight hit the ball running with Nice, which is good to see. From his point of view, it's a bit tough to see from ours, but it's been and gone, that happens. Ikone, really like him. I like Bamba as well from Lille, and I like Jonathan David up front. The whole Lille team, I would take about 6 of their players. Those 3, Yazici, the cam, is quite handy. Selig is okay. Renato Sanchez is a very good player as well. I'd have him in a heartbeat. They've got a very good squad, Lille. Apparently they had money issues. I mean, don't know how true that is, because I don't think they've sold anyone yet, and they could easily sell Renato Sanchez for quite a bit of money if they needed to, along with a few others. But they've got a very young squad. Luis Campos was their director of football and helped build. He's no longer at the club, but he helped build a lot of the club and a lot of the players, and he's a very highly rated director of football by myself and a couple of others. So I have got some of Ikone's stats here. We'll do last season, then this season, just because he's played 13 games this season, and I feel a bit harsh judging him on 13 games. So he played 37 games last season, scored 4 goals, got 5 assists. This is from the right wing as well. He's an inverted winger, plays on the right, cuts inside, a little bit like Andros Townsend for us now. So it's not, past the realms. I actually, as one of my football niggles, Room 101s, I hate inverted wingers. I'm very much old-fashioned on your wingers. Should be on the right, should be right-footed, left should be left-footed, so you can cut in, so you don't have to cut inside, you can just whip the ball in for a cross. Obviously that's not the way that modern football is, and you've got inverted wingers, inside forwards, the likes of Mo Salah, that made an absolute living off cutting inside. And that's how the world's moving. Jack Grealish is another inverted winger / advanced playmaker out wide. They're all the craze now, but I'm very much an old-fashioned. Get them down the byline, cross the ball in, high, low, anywhere to cause trouble. But maybe that's a little bit of an old-fashioned thing nowadays. But yeah, he's got 4 goals, 5 assists. His XG was 4.27, so pretty much what he got. His goals normally come from inside the box. He's not much of a goal scorer. He has got 5 assists, but this is the one. He's got 24 key passes and 29 chances created. So he does create chances. He has a 64% dribble accuracy as well. So obviously he's more of your create trouble type player than scoring your goals. Which, a better service to Calvert-Lewin is always welcome at Everton, I feel. Townsend's very good at it now. His crossing has been very welcomed. Damari Gray, who's a bit more like your old-fashioned winger, again, he's been very welcome in the fact that they're creating chances, getting crosses, getting balls into the box. It's something we've needed for a while. There's been a couple of times last season where people were saying Dominic Calvert-Lewin's brilliant, but he's not getting the service. It looks like Rafa or Marcel Brands, whoever he's working with, if he is, have highlighted we need more service into Calvert-Lewin. This season he's played 13, scored 1, got no assists. His XG is 1.73, so it's about right there. 13 key passes, 13 chances created. So that's a chance created a game and a big key pass a game. Not bad. Not, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say he might win the Ballon d'Or this year from those stats, but it's not a bad stat to have, and he clearly would be very welcome. He's very fast. That's what he does bring. He brings a bit of pace into the side, and as well as Andros Townsend has been doing, he's not going to be here forever. He's in the twilight years of his career. Ikone is about 27, I think he is. So he's a little bit young. He's in his prime, really. It's not so much that he's young; he's in his prime instead of towards the end of his career. Next, we're sticking with players in Ligue 1 that we're interested in, and this time we're after Monaco playmaker Alexander Golovin. According to Russian news outlet Championat via Inside Football, Everton have shown serious interest in Golovin. The report goes on to say Everton are expected to make a move for the playmaker of Golovin's ability following James Rodriguez's departure. This makes sense, really. We've got no number 10, no natural number 10 at the club right now. No advanced, playmaker. I know he sticks to Mari Gray there sometimes, and he's tried Iwobi there, and he's tried Townsend there. And as good as they are, I don't think any of them are real playmakers. They're not your James Rodriguez style of player who's going to pick out real good passes, and that's where obviously we need to improve as well as right wing, and that is what Golovin clearly is. I welcome this as well. I really like him. He seems like a really good player, and he's a player that I've watched for a while and quite like the look of, so I welcome that. I've got his stats up as well for you. Last season on FootMob, they rated him as 7.26 for the whole season. He played 21 games, got 5 goals, 9 assists. So, he's actually performed better than Ikone did. And Ikone did that in his, the Champions winning season. His expected goals were 2.95, so he got more goals than he was expected, which is fantastic. His goals mainly come from outside the box. He's got 2 inside, 3 outside, which again, that's a really welcome thing at Everton. Someone who's a presence and a threat from outside the area. Someone who could just whack the ball in. It's something I'd really like at Everton. It just offers that little bit more. He had 35 key passes and 44 chances created in 21 games. So he's easily double created his chances than games played. This season, obviously, he's played less games. By the way, just put it out there, he's got 76% pass accuracy as well, which is good. This season, he's played 9 games. He's got 2 goals, 1 assist, which isn't bad doing. 12 key passes, 13 chances created. His goals this year have come from inside the box. He's got an 82% pass accuracy, and he actually has a 75% dribble success, which means that he will carry the ball as well. He's not just like James Rodriguez in the fact that he's quick, 1-2 quick pass and move. He will carry the ball out as well. Monaco, he's done really well there. I'll be surprised if they let him go, to be honest, but if we can grab him, I think he'll be a really good player. He's again in his prime. He's not 30, he's not 29, he's not 35. He's a prime player in his prime years who will instantly come in and offer us something. And these 2 positions for me, other than obviously the right back and left back, are positions we do really need. He also suits Benitez's system because he can play as centre mid and as a cam. So in the 4-2-3-1 that would fall fat in a 5 midfield, he would actually suit that really well. And it makes a lot of sense. He's a hard-working midfielder as well. He doesn't, sit there, stand there, walk around, looking a bit lost, which is, don't want to name names, but there's a couple of Everton centre mids that do that occasionally. I really do want him as well, which means it probably won't happen, and we'll probably get Longstaff, because that's the way the world seems to work. Every player that I've seen us linked with that I really want, we never get. I wanted Gabriel Barbosa a couple of seasons ago, and it was never going to happen. But yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I also really like the look of Sandro Ramirez before he came, so maybe it's a good thing we're avoiding the players that I like the look of. But yeah, and finally, I've got some really good injury news, which it sounds weird because no injury news is normally good. But Everton are increasingly confident that Yerry Mina will be able to return to the side after the international break. Obviously, the Colombians missed the last 3 games due to a hamstring issue, and Mason Holgate has now got a 3-match ban for his horror tackle against Tottenham Hotspur. That was a red card. So obviously, that leaves us a bit like, we've got Keane, we've got Godfrey, but now we might have Yerry Mina back after the international break. Hopefully he's not the only one. I saw DCL doing shuttle runs in what looks like maybe his back garden. Hopefully after the international break he might be somewhat closer to returning. There's a couple of other lads that I think have got niggles. Andre Gomez, I don't know, maybe we'll see him back. The international break's one of those. It's a week off, 2 weeks for them. You'd be surprised who comes back and who doesn't. But Yerry Mina would be a welcome return. I really like him. I think he's our best centre-back at the club by quite a stretch. And he's a weird one. I was saying this to my dad the other day. Like, he's not fast, but he's not slow. But like when he runs, I think it's because he's so big. But you don't see him run very often because he normally tries to stay, in a position where he doesn't have to run. He's normally on his man. And also he just is one of the best for mind games. That game against Leeds, he had Bamford absolutely done in. Bamford couldn't handle him. And he's just a great character at the club. Which I know, doesn't always mean something, but he just seems like a bit of a laugh. Richarlison and his little bromance they've got is fantastic. And I can't wait to see Yerry Mina back. This has been his hamstring injury is obviously unfortunate. I think that's the only mark you could put against him is he gets reoccurring injuries, struggles to stay fit for the whole season, but when he plays, I think, personally, he's our best centre-back. As much as I love Godfrey, I don't think he's the polished article yet. He's still a very raw talent. He will be very good, I think, but he's a raw talent. Michael Keane and Mason Holgate. Michael Keane has purple patches of good, and Mason Holgate, I can see the club trying to move on in January. But that is all we've got time for today. Don't forget to like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. We've got loads more coming out. I know we've got some match reactions to the Tottenham game. Obviously, a 0-0 draw, really good against Antonio Conte as well, which is no slouch. I believe he'll have Tottenham a lot better in a month's time, so maybe we played them at the right time. But it was just a really good game. It's a really good result. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we've got loads more content coming out with the other guys that do it as well. And don't forget to comment down below on anything I've discussed today. Do you want Ikone? Do you want Golovin? Have you seen much of them? If you've watched much of the League One, tell me your thoughts on them. I like to see it. Let us know your thoughts on the centre-back situation. Do you think we probably are going to see either Holgate or Keane go in the January transfer? And don't forget, if you want any of your Everton merchandise, and I don't want to be that guy, but it is getting to the part of the year where everyone's thinking Christmas. I've seen Christmas lights near me in Cheshire Oaks on, and I've gone to Asda and I've seen the Christmas decorations. It's getting that time of year, and if you want to buy any of your family, your friends, your loved ones, any Everton merchandise, you can do it through the Everton direct link, which is in the description down below, and it just helps the channel out, costs you nothing, helps the channel out massively, and we all really appreciate it. And most importantly, guys, stay safe. I'll see you soon.